Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi. And a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopeful Akim out there pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as YAHAWAH, bahasham, Yahawashi has created us to do, so he can wake up and seal the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you Israelites who are scattered amongst the heathen nations that may look like the heathen nations, but your father's seed line goes back to you being a so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American, one of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Hey, Shalom. It's your brother Halaki from the GMS Denver camp coming back once again through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH. Bahasham Yahawashi with another video. And before we get into it, we're going to start here in Revelation 19:10. It says what? And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahawashi. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. And that's the spirit that the men of the Lord come in. We deal with prophecy. We deal with the things that are written. We deal with the things that the Most High said were going to come to pass here in the last days, man. And one of those things that are going to come is going to come to pass is the second coming of the Lord Yahawashi. You see, and what he's been given power to do on this earth, man, and that's to do what? To put all of you heathen nations in subjection up under his people. And we don't just make that up, man. That's what's written in prophecy. You see, if you people truly had the spirit of Yahawashi upon you, you will understand prophecy, man, but you don't. Because all this BS talk about him coming to love all nations, everybody can be a child of God, this and the other, that's not true. That's not true. That doesn't add up to what the scriptures say. Now let's get into it real quick. Because if that was the case, why would this be written? This is Psalms chapter 2. We'll start at 1. It says what? Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? Everything that you people believe in is vanity. You see? It's false. It's worthless. It's useless. And especially these ideas that these elite have, this idea that these elite have of establishing a new world order and wickedness on the earth, that's vanity, man. That shit is not going to come to pass. The Most High is not going to allow that to come to fruition. Why? Because it's not according to his will. We're going to show you in prophecy, man. Verse 2 says what? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against YAHAWAH and against his anointed. And that's exactly what the elite are doing. And this is why they propagated this doctrine of God loving everybody and the Bible is universal, is for all people, so forth and so on. No, that's not the case. This is why you see the elite behind the scenes once again trying to establish a new world order and wickedness. You see? Fighting against the Most High God YAHAWAH and his only begotten son Yahawashi. And what are they saying? Saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. Because that's what the elite of these heathen, beginning with the Edomites, the elites of the Edomites, the Amalekites, which are the so-called Jews, they don't want the Most High's way to be established in the earth. They don't want the only begotten son Yahawashi to return to put all the heathen nations in subjection according to the Most High's will. And this is why they're fighting against it. Hell, this is why they're preparing to fight against the Messiah when he returns. And they're going to spin this story of, oh, these are outside attackers of our world. They're aliens, so forth and so on. They're going to spew all that madness, man. So when the Lord shows up, they can be justified and try to fight against him. But we're here to tell you now, man. There are no such thing as aliens. When you see those UFOs flood the skies, that's the Lord returning, man, to take his kingdom as is prophesied. That's the Lord returning to put you heathen nations in shackles and chains as is prophesied, man, as the Most High has spoken, according to the Most High's will. That's what's about to take place. You see? And they're doing everything in their power they can do to fight against this, man. And this is why they propagated this doctrine of universalism when it comes to the Bible And that's not the case, because we're going to show you right here. It says what? Verse 4, he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh. The Lord shall have them in derision. And that's exactly what's happening, because they're doing everything in their power to stop this from coming to pass. But everything is moving forward according to what the Most High said it was going to be. These heathen are not stopping prophecy from coming to pass. Everything according to what the Most High has spoken is being fulfilled, man. You see? The Most High is laughing at these fools because they're trying to fight against the will of God when that's impossible to do. And everything that these elite do is all according to the will of the Most High God, Yahawah, man. You people have no control. You have no say-so in the matter, man. Everyone on this earth is moving according to how the Most High said it was supposed to be moving here in the last days. Verse 5 says what? Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in his sore displeasure. And that's what? In that time of judgment when the Lord Yahawashi returns. Verse 6, yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. That king is who? The Lord Yahawashi. And he's coming back to take his throne. You see, his rightful place on the earth, man, as being the King of kings and Lord of lords. Verse 7 says what? I will declare the decree. The Lord has said unto me, thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. And this is King David giving us the insight of the conversation that the Most High had with Yahawashi when the Most High first created Yahawashi in the beginning. You see? Because when you have the proper understanding of these scriptures, you understand that the only thing that the Most High created was the Lord Yahawashi. Then the Most High gave Yahawashi and the Elohim the blueprint to create all creation. Right? Now when we go into verse 8, it says what? Ask of me now. Now this is the conversation that the Most High is having with Yahawashi in the heavens. It says what? Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. That's a cut to a universal biblical doctrine, man. The Bible is not universal, because if that was the case, if he loved all people, you see, or if the Bible was universal, how could he receive his inheritance of the heathen? It says what? And the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Letting us know this is not universal, man. If he's coming to love everybody, who is he going to rule over? Who's going to be his servants and slaves, man? If all nations are a part of this. You see? That false narrative that you give for Christianity, it contradicts what the Bible really says, man. The Most High has promised Yahawashi the heathen for an inheritance as slaves in the kingdom of heaven, man. Letting us know that all nations are not on the same level as Yahawashi and the Israelites. Now, what else did he say he was going to be able to do with the heathen? Verse 9, thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. That doesn't sound like anything pleasant, man. That doesn't sound like the doctrine you learn in Christianity, or the Messiah coming to save everyone. Because that's not the truth. He's coming to save the remnant of Israel. And once the remnant is saved, man, once we have our crowning ceremony, Lord willing, we'll be a part of that number. Once we have that crowning ceremony in the heavens, as you read about in 2nd Ezra chapter 2, we're going to come down out of heaven, as you read in Revelation 21, and we're going to take over the earth, man, according to prophecy. Why ain't the Christian church talking about these prophecies, man? Why ain't the Christian church talking about the Israelites coming back into power and ruling the entire planet Earth as it is written? Why ain't they talking about that, man? It's because they don't deal with the true narrative of the Bible. That's why. Now, when you jump to Revelation chapter 2, now look at this. Revelation chapter 2, right? This is the red letter. So who is this speaking? This is the Lord Yahawashi speaking. Red letter, man. The words of the Mashiach, man, right? So now when we jump down to the end of this, Revelation 2, now listen. We'll start at 25. But that which thou have already hold fast till I come. And he's talking about what? This faith. This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we've been blessed with. You see? We got to hold it fast till he comes, because he tells us what? In Matthew. He that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So we have to endure all things. Verse 26 says what? And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Who is he going to give power over the nations, man? The remnant of the nation of Israel. Then ultimately, when the 2/3 are born back in the kingdom of heaven, they're going to have power over the nations as well. Showing you that this is not universal, man. Showing you that the Messiah did not come to be joined hand in hand with the heathen nations. He just told his true believers, you see, and his true believers are Israelites. He just told the Israelites that what? If we keep his works unto the end, he's gonna give us power over the nations. And what are we gonna do once we have power over the nations? Verse 27 says what? And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. You hear that? As the vessels of a powder shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. When did he receive that? We got the vision of that back in Psalms chapter 2. See, we continue to endure to the end, we're going to be made co-heirs or joint heirs with Yahawashi in the kingdom of heaven. And everything that he's going to receive, we're going to receive it as well. That includes you nations, man. Now, when you go into this word with the rod of iron, let's show you that this is not universalism, man. That it wasn't talking about everybody coming together as one. That was never the Most High intents and purpose. Because if that was the case, the Tower of Babel would have never been dismantled, man. Why do you think the Most High confounded the languages at the Tower of Babel? Because he didn't want all nations together. The Most High is a separatist, man. You see? That universalism, that's Satanism, man. That's not of the Most High. And this definition for the word rod proves that. When you go into the word rod, it goes into rabdos, right?
Strong's G, 4464, hrabdas. Hrabdas.
We get to the point, it says what? When applied to kings, because you have to understand, when you go into the history, what is the nation of Israel? We are a nation of kings and priests unto the Most High God, Yahawah. So this applies to us. When applied to kings with a rod of iron, indicates the severest, most rigorous rule. And who are we going to rule vigorously over? The heathen nations. Who are we going to rule over with rigor? The heathen nations. Showing you there's a separation happening. Showing you that all people will not be joined hand in hand. That was never the Most High's will. You see? We are about to come into power and have complete control over the planet Earth and everything in it, including you heathen nations. That's prophecy, man. This is what the Lord Yahawashi is coming to establish. The one you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, he's not coming to love everyone. He's coming to save his beloved remnant, you see, which are the Israelites that believe upon him right now. And when it's all said and done, we're going to rule over you heathen nations, man. This is what's happening according to prophecy. And that's all it's about. Daniel. Let's get Daniel 7. We'll start at 13 if I'm mistaken. Yep. We're going to read all this right here. This is Daniel 7 and 13. It says what? I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. See, that's another cut to Christianity. They still sitting up here talking about God and Jesus are the same person. No, you idiots. It just means they're same in spirit. They're on the same wavelength. They're in the same vibration. They're in the same mindset, but they're two different beings. This prophecy proves that. The angels, you see, came in the clouds of the so-called UFOs and brought the Son of Man, Yahawashi, to the Most High. They brought him before the Most High, which is Yahweh, you see. This shows you that the Most High and Yahawashi are two different entities. They're just on the same accord. That's what it means, I and my Father are one. We're in the same spirit. Didn't mean that they were literally one person. And another thing that cuts that is John 17, when Yahawashi was praying, if God and so-called Jesus are the same person, who the hell was he praying to in John 17? Was he praying to himself in the heavens? How does that work? He was praying to his Father, man. Once again, I and my Father are one, means they're on the same mission. They have the same outlook, the same mindset. You see? The same intents and purposes. That's all it means. Now, when you go on, so they bought Yahawashi before the Most High God, Yahweh. And what happened? Verse 7. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. You hear that? Let's see what this word serve says. Matter of fact, before we move on, let's get this in the GNT real quick. That was Daniel 7. Let's get in the GNT. Let's see what it says. What was it 14? Daniel 7 and 13 in the GNT, it says, he was given authority, honor, and royal power. All power in heaven and earth has been given unto me. He told us that in Matthew 18, you see? It says what? He was given authority, honor, and royal power, so that the people of all nations, races, and languages would serve him. His authority would last forever, and his kingdom would never end. Do you hear that? That's what you heathen nations are going to do. You're going to serve the Lord Yahawashi and his people in the kingdom of heaven. Let's get a word for serve. To serve, worship, revere, minister for, pay, minister for. What does the word minister mean? Let me kill something crazy. When you go into ministry, it just means to serve. It says what? For, pay reverence to pay reverence to serve. And that's what you heathen nations are going to be doing for the Israelites in the kingdom of heaven, showing you once again there's a separation. We will not be on equal terms with you in our kingdom, just like we're not on equal terms with you in your kingdom. In every captivity we've been in, you see, you heathen nations have ruled over us. There was no equality. There was no hand joining the hand then, and there won't be no hand joining the hand once the Lord Yahawashi comes to establish the kingdom of Israel. You see? Now, as we go on, verse 15 says what? I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me, and made me know the interpretation of the things. These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. And under all four of those kings, guess what the Israelites were? Slaves, servants, handmaids, bondmen. You see? We have been under the foot of every single last one of you heathen nations, man. Now, the tables are turning, and the Most High is about to put you heathen under our feet forevermore. You see? Prophecy, man. This is all prophecy. This is all that's taking place in the earth. All the kingdoms that the Most High said would be, have been, and now we're in the last stage of the revised Roman Empire, which is about to go down at the second coming of our Lord Yahawashi, and the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of Israel, is going to be established in the earth forevermore, according to the will of the Most High God Yahweh. So it goes on to say, Daniel 7 and 17, these great beasts, which are four kings which shall arise out of the earth. But what's going to happen? But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. That's what it's going to be when it's all said and done. The saints, which are those who have made a covenant with the Most High by sacrifice, and the only nation that's done that are the Israelites. We are the saints. And we are going to take the kingdom and possess it forever and ever. Why? Because that's what the Most High promised unto our forefather Abraham, man. You see? This is what we're coming into. And that doesn't include us being joined hand in hand with you heathen nations in no shape, form, or fashion. You see? So it says what? Oh, that's it on that. Let's get Daniel chapter 2. And we'll jump down to 44 if I am mistaken. Because this is all it is, man. This is the spirit of prophecy. We're talking about the things that the Most High said will come to pass, and this is how we know we have the spirit of Yahawashi upon us, man. You see? This is what it's all about. Yahawashi is coming to make sure all these things are fulfilled. This is what he meant when he said, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me. Where can you find the will of the Most High? You can find it written in the Bible, the Old and the New Testament. And Yahawashi is going to see that everything that the Most High has spoken comes to pass. That's it. That's his job. That's what he's set up to do, right? Now, where we at? Verse 44. Okay. So Daniel chapter 2, you should know what this is. Read Daniel chapter 2. This is the vision Nebuchadnezzar had of the great statue. You see? Made of different precious metal. The first being the head of gold, which represented what? Assyrian Babylonian, the Babylonian Empire. The silver represents what? The Medo-Persian Empire. The brass represents the Greek Empire. And the iron represents the Roman Empire. The 10 toes of iron pot miry clay represents the revised Roman Empire. You see? Partly strong, partly weak. You have nations that are strong that are part of this, nations that are weaker that are part of this. You see? You have all the nations trying to come together on this one accord, but they're not meshing. You see? Because when it's all said and done, all these nations have they're looking out for the best interests of their people. So they will never be able to come together. You see? Now, with all that being said, at the end of that vision, Nebuchadnezzar saw a stone cut out without hands smite the 10 toes part iron part miry clay. That stone that was cut out without hands represents our Lord Yahawashi and what he's coming to do when he makes his second coming. You see? We're living in the 10 toes part iron part miry clay now. Yahawashi is coming in this time to take down to completely dismantle the power structure of Esau, Edom, man, and take away all power, authority, and dominion from these people. This is what the prophecies say. This is what the Most High God, Yahweh, has spoken. If you're saying anything other than this, you are a liar, and the truth is not in you. So Daniel 2:44 says what? And in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. That kingdom is the kingdom of our Lord Yahawashi, which is going to be established in righteousness. The kingdom that we're longing for, that all of our forefathers have been longing for. You see, the day we can finally enter into rest and have true life, man. You see, and because this kingdom is established in righteousness, it will never be destroyed, man. So it goes on to say, Daniel 2:44, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. Why? Because the kingdom of heaven is only for the Israelites. You see? And to prove that, let's jump to Acts real quick. Acts 1 and verse 6. It says what? When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to who? To Israel. That's who the kingdom of heaven is for. It's only for the Israelites. It isn't for anyone else. This is what everything is moving toward. We're living in the as end of Esau's blessing. And after Esau's blessings, after he reaches his expiration date, the kingdom of heaven is going to be established directly after Esau goes down. You heathen, no other heathen nation will ever have any power on this earth ever again. So you Chinese are not finna come into power. You Russians are not finna come into power. The next kingdom to rule on this planet earth forevermore is the kingdom of Israel, led by Yahawashi and the 144,000. That's what it's going to be, according to what the Most High has spoken. And that's all that matters. So back in Daniel 2. Daniel 2:44 says what? And in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. For as much as thou sawest the stone, so that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and it brake in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God YAHAWAH have made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. What is that? Future prophecy. What the Most High has ordained it to be on the earth. You have man down here on the earth trying to tell the Most High what it is and what it ain't going to be. But at the end of the day, the Most High word overrides everything else. You see, the only word that holds any weight on this earth is the word of the Most High God Yahweh, because his word is going to be found faithful and true when it's all said and done. And everybody that's bucking up and rebelling against it, you're going to be found liars. And you're going to be destroyed eventually. It says what? The great God Yahweh have made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. So that's what Yahawashi is coming to do, man. He's coming to establish a righteous kingdom on the earth, and he's going to put all of you heathen nations in subjection, man, as it is written. Once again, this is nothing we made up. This has been in this book since it was written. Since the Most I had the prophets write it down, man. Hell, even the Most I told you, he declared the end from the beginning. It was already declared from the beginning what the end was going to be. So it says what? Let's get this in oh man, 1 Corinthians, if I am mistaken. 1 Corinthians 14. No. 1 Corinthians 15. And we'll start at 24. Yep. So this is 1 Corinthians 15 and 24 says what? Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to the Most High, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. And this is what the Lord is coming to do. All of you nations who have authority and power in the earth is about to be revoked, beginning with you Edomites, man. Yahawashi is coming to take the power away from you. This is why he's coming to wage war. This is what he said in Matthew 10 and 34. Think not that I'm come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace but a sword. Yahawashi is coming back to judge, man, and destroy and slaughter. You see? And he's going to completely dismantle Esau's power structure. Why? Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You see? So 1 Corinthians 15 and 24. Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to the Most High, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. For he must reign till he have put all enemies under his feet. Who are his enemies? You heathen nations. You are the enemies of the Lord Yahawashi. You are the enemies of the Most High God Yahweh. You are the enemies of the Israelites. And Yahawashi is coming to put you down. Verse 26. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. And that's only going to be done for the Israelites, because we're going to be bought up under that second covenant, making us completely righteous, causing us to never sin again, meaning that we'll never die again. That privilege only belongs to the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Verse 27 says what? For he hath put all things under his feet. But when he saith all things are put under him, it is manifest that he is accepted, which did put all things under him. Because the only thing that's not under Yahawashi is the Almighty God Yahawah. But what Yahawashi is coming to do, as it tells you in verse 28, and when all things shall be subdued unto him, then shall the Son also himself be subject unto him that put all things under him, that the Most High may be all in all. So that's what Yahawashi is coming to do. He's coming to establish a righteous order in earth. He's coming to set everything back in order, with it being the Most High God Yahawah. Next in line would be who? The only begotten Son Yahawashi. Then King David. Then the rest of the 144,000, the great multitude, the rest of the nation of Israel, and then you heathen nations will fall in line as you fall in line. This is what Yahawashi is coming to do. This is the order that he's coming to establish, man. You see? He's not coming back in peaceful mode. He's coming back to wage war and to take all power from you heathen nations, beginning with you Amalekites, which are you so-called Jews. You see? And there's more scriptures we can go into, man. There's more we can go into. But I think the point has been made. Yahawashi is not coming back in this universal spirit as the Christian church has told you, man. Yahawashi is coming back to put you heathen nations in shackles and chains, man. You are his inheritance, and if we continue to endure unto the end, the true believers are going to be co-inheritors or co-heirs with Yahawashi in the kingdom of heaven, and you heathen are going to belong to us as well, as it is written, thus saith Yahweh, bahasham Yahawashi. With that, I'm going to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, bahasham Yahawashi, bahasham qadash. A double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching me this truth according to the Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh, bahasham Yahawashi. And a sincere peace and salutation to all you hopeful La'akim out there, pushing his word in all truth and sincerity, doing the work as Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi has created us to do. With that, I'm going to say Shalom, Wah, Yabba, Baba.